What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Shopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Links, Likes, and Locks of the NBA streets. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. My friends, the NBA streets were wild on Wednesday, and I couldn't figure out what the heck to do with Cade Cunningham getting late scratched. I'm happy that nothing really bit me there. There was a bunch of random news just popping up here and there. I will say though, I have a spread lock that I am in love with right now, and I hope this number stays for everybody, that you can all take advantage of this over at FanDuel.com. We'll talk BetMGM here, of course, but this line is currently over at FanDuel. I'm just going to get right into the analysis because I should just speed it up. Listen. You'll hear what it is. It'll be great stuff, but a lock that I think is about 2.5, 3, maybe even 3.5 points off based on the way that you value these teams. And again, for me, when I update the sheet, see, I'm getting into the small talk already. Let's break it down here, friends. Producer Jacob, hi, hello. 5 games in the NBA streets. Let's get to the picks. Philly looks a little bit different, taking on the Miami Heat here in South Beach, and 3 guys on the injury report, but it's cool to see one of them, considering he just played 29 minutes. Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey, all questionable. But you get Maxey out and you get Joel Embiid back. That's an upgrade. I like Tyrese Maxey, just like everybody else does. But there is no way that Joel Embiid wouldn't have been your MVP playing at the pace he was at the beginning of the season if he had just stayed healthy. Now, he's the reigning MVP for a reason, but nearly a 39% usage, 10.4 EPM. He's the highest ranked player in terms of estimated plus minus over at dunks and threes, and there is a very, very good reason for it. He is awesome. But anywho, I will say there's a couple of ways that this one shakes out, and I'm a little bit nervous because I want to dabble in something here. I just think it's probably going to be the prop market, and it might just be saying Joel Embiid. I was pretty confident he was going to play more than people were expecting, but because of the late nature of that news, and they're probably going to get in trouble for it, Philly is, there weren't enough numbers to be able to try to bet something for Joel Embiid here, but we're going to get something if he is in from a points prop perspective that might look interesting against Miami. Because again, just a 209.5 total, it is going to be bleak. You have a tough matchup with Bam Adebayo on the other side, but I do think Philly is going to be able to handle their business here. Terry Rozier is in, but he has that left knee that got dinged up the other night. Duncan Robinson's back. Nikola Jovic is going to probably be starting alongside Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and then the aforementioned two that I brought up. Haywood Highsmith been playing way more minutes here of late, 26, 28 a night. Caleb Martin should be good, and Jaime Jaquez, the minutes have slowly gotten trimmed. His production, it's starting to stagger a little bit, hitting a little bit of a rookie wall, but he's still good. Again, I'd still take him probably 4th out of the rookies. Victor Wembanyama, for sure, 1. Chet Holmgren, technically rookie, 2. Brandon Miller, 3. It's wild. But Philadelphia plus 2.5, you can't possibly tell me that you know whether or not Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey are going to be in on this game. I would expect Joel Embiid to play, actually, so I lied about that. But Tyrese Maxey just feels like the most coin flip of all coin flip things. Would love to have a plus 2.5 ticket with Maxey, and would hate to have a plus 2.5 ticket with Maxey out. So it comes down to yeah, it's going to move a point here to react to such things. But at 2.5, probably not going to be pulling the trigger here unless I can react to that news ahead of time. Game number 2, the Sacramento Kings taking on the Knicks, 215.5 total, pretty low total for Sacramento, huh? Now, there's somebody that tried to have this debate with me. Oh, Domantas Sabonis should be first team All-NBA. The dumbest thing I've ever heard. You know Jokic exists, right? Even Wemby exists. Again, there are identifying stats, and then there are just counting stats. There are predictive analytics, and then there are just stats. And people will look at stats, and there's no doubt Domantas Sabonis is really good at accumulating him. Is he a winning basketball player? Absolutely, like 95th, 96th percentile. But there's a lot of other centers that I would take before Domantas Sabonis at the moment, because come playoff time, defensive liability, and it's starting to look a little bit like playoff time, isn't it? Starting to look a little bit like it. I think that's really what this play comes down to. Now, Sacramento, they have some injuries that are just problematic. They're going to have to start Keon Ellis. They're going to have to play more minutes for Keegan Murray, Harrison Barnes here in close spots, and Fox Sabonis are going to have to do a lot for this team. Good to see Trey Lyles start to accumulate more minutes here, but again, no Kevin Huerter, no Malik Monk. Kind of a problem. But Josh Hart questionable, Mitchell Robinson questionable. We'll see if that ends up being a thing, because if Josh Hart plays, we know what happens. 48 minutes, that seems to be the trend here. But I'm more interested in the under of 215.5 than anything else for this one. I think without Malik Monk, you're going to see the second unit not necessarily struggle, but Trey Lyles, he's somebody who really gets set up by the players around him. And Malik Monk, kind of an underrated passer and somebody who really sparks the offense off the bench. Terrible defensively, too. So anything that you're bringing in that isn't him, probably going to be an upgrade to some extent, although Trey Lyles, he's not exactly known for his defense, too. Just a bigger body, sits in the corner and shoots threes. 39% three-point shooter for anybody who cares. But Malik Monk, 29% assist rate, bottom 25th percentile defender in the NBA. You get that off the floor for 30 minutes, you replace it with anything, slower pace, worse offense. I think this is a couple of points off here. So 215.5, I'm going to dabble. I think you should too for a half unit. I think you should also sign up for OddsShopper OS Premium Tools, friends. We're talking the Positive EV tool. We're talking the Fantasy Optimizer. Everything you know and love in one easy-to-find place with that Positive EV tool. With the Fantasy Optimizer, if you're playing Prize Picks, Underdog, things of that nature, opportunity to sign up and utilize our great lineup builder for that. $14.95 weekly, $49.95 monthly. It also comes with the Discord Insider Access, which is my premium betting card, the Discord, to be able to hang out with the people, the OddsShopper community, and bet some Positive EV. That's the name of the game. We are looking to find good bets together and, hey, hit a nice little 25 extra in the Prize Picks streets for the people over on Tuesday. That was awfully fun. We're going to try to run that back here on Thursday. Got a couple of plays that look a little bit better over there for today. It was pretty light here on Wednesday. But, friends, it's all $12 if you use promo code Lindy. So you use promo code Lindy. 20% off, $12 that first week, $42 if you so choose for the first month. Expert picks, Discord, premium tools, all in one package. Look at that. I can read. Back to the picks we go. I'll be quick with this one. It's a back-to-back for Atlanta. I'm not sure exactly how the minutes broke down entirely here, so I'm actually going to pull this up live. F it, we'll do it live. I know that they ended up beating Detroit 121-113, but I was updating my stuff, and the props weren't going to be out, and so really it was, what does the total look like? What does the spread look like? It's the best current available line. That's going to be the lean that you're going to get from this one, and against the spread, Atlanta has been putrid, absolutely horrendous. Been one of the better teams to bet against this season. If you bet for them, God speed to you. North of 20-plus units that you would be down. A lot more than that, actually, because you've got the 10% big standardized. But you could just call it roughly 22. Yeah, that's the math on that. No. Carry the 1, 1.1, 1.1. 20 for the, so it's 19 for the disparity. So I guess technically it's one lower. 22, same damn thing that I just thought of a second ago. Anywho, let's take a look at the other side. Dallas, you know who it is, Luka Doncic. He's pretty good. And this Dallas team, they're going to be clawing, fighting, bringing up playoff probabilities nonstop these last couple of weeks because they really matter. But Dallas is probably going to be landing a 5 or 6 seed. They have a 45.3% chance at getting the 5 seed, according to Dunks and Threes. 31.9% chance at getting the 6 seed. That is a gigantic majority of their build-up here based on projected win totals, where they're going to land in that 5 or 6 seed spot. So be paying very close attention as we come down to the end of the season on who is playing for something and who is not. Trying to be early because not enough people are factoring it in. And yeah, it'll get bet into place by the time first tip comes around. But until then, early to lines in spots like this. And once in a while, you're going to get bit by random scratches and you have to live with it. But here, looks pretty clean because Dallas is all about winning and trying to secure this spot. Now, Atlanta, it's not like they're not. It's just that, well, they're falling by the wayside to a certain extent. They are a very heavy favorite to finish in either the 9 or the 10 seed. But considering they're kind of guaranteed to be playing in that spot no matter what, yeah, sure, you'd want home court. But it's more important to shore up that you're going to fall into that window. Again, getting that 9 or 10 seed, you still got to win 2 games. That's the way that it works. Again, that hashtag math. So all things being equal, Dallas is the much better basketball team. PJ Washington playing good defense in the absence. We've got Derek Lively, who's going to be out here for a little bit. Sounds like a week or 2, potentially. I think 2 weeks was the official notice that I had seen online. But as it stands, Josh Green, really the only other rotation piece who is out here. You get all of the important guys, the Doncic, Irving, PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, Tim Hardaway Jr. off the bench, Dante Exum, who's been closing some basketball games. A lot of ways we're 11 on the back-to-back. Again, Dallas getting to jump into this one fresh, really good against the spread. This is a wide one. Again, this is not indicative of anything if the number is screwed up, but it's pretty efficient. Minus 11 Dallas. I want to pull the trigger so bad, but again, I've got a play coming up next that matters way, way more. Let's get to it now. Something I'm going to start doing more in the premium Discord, and I've been doing this like night before I've done Lindy's late night locks. I've done a lot of great stuff over on X, or not to toot my own horn or whatever, but I've done a lot of things where I want to give you updated information fast so we can beat closing lines, closing line value. We want to get ourselves onto the best plays before everybody else jumps in at worse numbers. We want ourselves to be profitable over a long period of time. And when you're talking about totals, when you're talking about spreads, when you're talking about money lines, I don't think there's as many edges to mine out as what there are in all. It's far more efficient than going to the prop market. I love the prop market. I think you know by now, props are generally what show up in the lock category, although today it's just upside down world. Like, it's absolute upside down world for me. Because Golden State is 3.5-point favorites going up against Houston, and everybody saw Houston win 11 games in a row and lost their minds. It's just wild to me. Houston, over the course of this season, Alperen Sengun being out, massive, massive detriment to them, but they're still at a plus 1.2 in terms of adjusted net rating. They are 16th in my model. There it is. I had to double check here because I combined two different sites and do the thing. And there we are. We made a marriage. 16th in my model, 38 and 37. Really fun story. Probably not going to amount to anything, though, because at the end of the day, playoff probabilities matter so much this time of year. And I don't see how a team that is 97% to finish in the 11th seed, which, by the way, means jack diddly squat, is going to go out and play balls to the walls the rest of the way home. Now, I could be very wrong about that. Jalen Green's been playing really good basketball. You want to continue to develop him. Maybe he can be your number one of the future. He's still been a very inefficient shooter this season. There's still a lot of things that I would like to see shored up in his game, but there's no doubt you go on the winning streak that they did, that he was a massive catalyst to them being successful. But how is Golden State getting healthier with only Jonathan Kuminga questionable, who, by the way, has a lot of games recently where he hasn't closed because they have Chris Paul to handle ball handling duties. Gary Payton can close at times, even though he plays like teens minutes. Just somebody defensively who can bring a different element to this team. Trace Jackson Davis carving out 24-ish minutes a game off the bench here as well. Pretty decent little rookie himself. And of course, Steph, Klay Thompson, Wiggins, Green, the normal core four that we've now seen for the last couple of years with Golden State. And for Steph, Klay, and Draymond been together for absolute ever, an eternal marriage here in Golden State. They need to keep frickin' winning basketball games. And it's no reason that they're going to have a team like Houston roll over on them, but they are 61% to finish at the 10 seed, 27% to finish the 9 seed. I kind of belittled, I guess, the difference between 9 and 10 with Atlanta, and I don't want to just cherry pick my spots, but like Golden State getting a home court advantage, I think it matters a little bit to them in the West. If you're having to play the Lakers, if you're having to play Sacramento, if you're having to play Phoenix, potentially, they could fall back. There's still a chance, only like a 20% chance that they could fall to the 9 or 10 seed as it stands right now. Again, comparing two models and combining them. But I don't see how FanDuel hung minus 3.5 here. And I posted it immediately upon updating my spreadsheet because it went bright green immediately. It said, Eric, you need to bet this immediately. And so, friends, you need to bet this immediately if this number is available. If it moves to 4, it is a pretty decent difference having that hook there because, again, you push on 4 as opposed to getting paid. Golden State winning by 4. It's not like it's not going to be crazy competitive, but like I think Golden State is undervalued here by about 2.5, 3 points, which is a massive, huge disparity. I think they're the much better basketball team. Oh, I should probably finish off with my last talking point. Golden State plus 2.2, 12th in adjusted net rating. But that was a lot of the season playing ball without Steph Curry, without Draymond Green, who was suspended, without Chris Paul, who was hurt for a majority of the year. Their entire team is healthy. They're definitely a top 10 team in adjusted net rating with a completely healthy core. Kuminga, I understand that he's been great in the starting unit here. He's had a nice season, but overall, friends, this is not an efficient line. Houston, we don't have a problem. We want to bet against you. I also want you guys to be firing up at every book you possibly can. BetMGM is one of them, friends. First bet safety net up to $1,500. Get that down below at the link. when your first bet, well, don't say when, if you fire up a bet up to $1,500 over at BetMGM when you sign up at the link below, you'll get $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet loses, up to $1,500, that is. Let me explain one more time for the people in the back. First bet safety net, whether it's 20 bucks, 50 bucks, 100 bucks, $94.34. Doesn't matter how much you want to be allocating to this bet over at BetMGM, you're going to get it back in bonus bets to be able to fire up again if your first bet loses. So check it out at the link below, friends. Only for 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. One more game. Let's get to it. This shall be a quick one. Denver taking on the Clippers, and it's a pretty efficient line here. Again, Denver, 2-point favorites. Why is that? Oh, I thought the Clippers were good. Well, they're good. There's no question that they're good. Kawhi Leonard out. Problematic. Not great, Bob. Not great. Now, everybody else on the Clipper side healthy, but the main reason that this sits at -2, Jamal Murray questionable yet again. Hasn't played in the last couple. They really want to put him on ice and keep him healthy until the very, very end here. Sorry, I was getting my phone wrong there. But we got Jamal Murray questionable. I think you want to be waiting to fire up Nikola Jokic there in the event. If Jokic ends up getting fired up, the assist rate, it's going to take a hit if Jamal Murray plays. It's going to be a problem. So Jamal Murray is out. I'm probably going to fire up Joker triple-double because the lines just haven't reacted to it. And then if he plays, I'm going to stay away from it. So how does that sound for a lean? See, told you it'd be quick. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board for Thursday's 5-gamer. Going to be pretty quick, pretty easy. Go Golden State. They've been our most profitable team. Should have probably thrown that in the analysis too. Our most profitable team here in the second half of the NBA season. Actually jumped on it right before the All-Star break. Have been backing them a lot, very successfully, outside of one spot that always sticks in my head. A team that goes freaking 6-1 for you in the course of the second half of the season. And you know what? I remember the one loss because I was with my family and I was tilting in Memphis. How do you not cover against Memphis in that spot against the G League? But whatever. Producer Jacob's like, yeah, I remember that one. That sucked. Anyway, sign up for BetMGM down below. Sign up for Odd Chopper, friends. Good stuff. Let's run this back again tomorrow, shall we? NBA streets, MLB streets. Lindy, don't sleep. Lindy, don't sleep. Producer Jacob, thank you again for all of your hard work. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Thursday.